after that?
Yeah, let's talk about that. We'll go over these details later, and we'll give you a shout if we have questions. Is that cool?
Okay.
Thanks.
That sounds good. So if you go tab to the other tab on that spreadsheet, and if you look at column C, that has all of the 5-year goals, 5-year sustainability goals that Jackson Family Wines has publicly committed to achieving. And if you think about what our sustainability program looks like in a nutshell, it's really pretty well encapsulated by these goals. There are 11 of them in total. There are only 10 on this because one of the goals is kind of an internal goal. But so these are essentially over the course of the next 11, 12 months. We are going to be publishing sustainability report updates that speak to our progress against these goals. So we published our sustainability report a year ago, and we're now going to be releasing these progress reports that are showing how we're doing 1 year in. And we're going to kind of just steadily release them month by month as opposed to just publishing another report in a year, because we think that that's going to create more dynamic content. So, the goals as you see them in the areas where we, I think, as an organization stand out, I can go through them kind of top to bottom, row 6 to row 15, column C. Today we're the leading generator of on-site renewables in the wine industry. So that's certainly a superlative that we have always looked to. The next one down, we've got a carbon reduction goal, a greenhouse gas emissions reduction goal that we're aiming to achieve, and that includes a lot of various different activities from looking to sequester carbon from fermentation tanks to reducing the glass, the weight of our glass bottles, to electrifying some of our fleet vehicles and going to kind of cleaner burning fuels and things like that. We're looking to go, this 50% reduction in winery solid waste. We actually think we can get to a zero waste certification. So that's going to be a neat certification when we get that, and that'll probably be a year to 18 months out if all goes well. The family is obviously very passionate about land conservation and restoration, and so there are a number of projects that Katie Jackson herself is leading that look at various different initiatives to restore natural habitat for endangered species and things like that. We've got on the social side of sustainability, we've got this employee internship program that's designed to kind of create a pathway to full-time positions within the organization. We have our volunteer program, which is kind of a company sponsored. Every employee gets 2 days a year to volunteer with the nonprofit of their choice in their own local communities, and they get paid to do that. And kind of the magnitude of that program is pretty impressive when you extrapolate that out across 1,500 odd employees. We're working with our supply chain to certify not just the fruit that we grow internally, but the fruit that we purchase from our grower partners. And so our goal is to be able to have sustainable certification on all of our wines that are both internal and grower purchased. There's an innovation goal where we're looking to kind of pilot various different innovation projects that look at how you change the wine industry for the better and change the paradigm of business as usual within the wine industry. Zero waste, again, this is focused on our DCC and our hospitality locations, so getting them to zero waste, and then reducing our water intensity by over 33% from where we are. Today we're at about 3.5 gallons of water to make a gallon of wine, which is among the most efficient in the industry, and we want to continue to reduce that number.
Excellent.
Very
All
good.
right.
So those are the goals, and those are kind of the areas I think where we stand out as an organization.
Okay, so just to streamline this, because we've got 15 more minutes. I think this is a fantastic start. Love that we can just like check these boxes and kind of like dig deeper. There's two things that I wanted to ask you personally, and one is, I think it's a point number 11 or 9. This idea of this supply chain, and one of the things as storytellers on our side, we're highly interested in, obviously, our main goal is to tell your story to the world and do all these things that we're going to do strategically and creatively. But we also have this loftier idea about an opportunity for you guys to create this really lasting goodwill and leadership by empowerment. And that means, how could we kind of turn the mirror through the supply chain and help them kind of realize how they can get involved, whether they're, and I'm going outside and, again, the rings of the supply chain. We're talking about already, even touching from consumers on the outside to on-premise operators to retailers and then going in. So there's some very interesting things there that, I just want to touch on that. If you had any feedback there, we're going to continue that idea. And continue that exploration. And any thoughts on that?
Yeah, so it's not just upstream, but downstream sustainability, empowerment, engagement, leadership. We don't want to moralize, we don't want to preach, but we want to see how we can help just grow this ring bigger, larger and larger. As a thought. Do you have any thoughts on that? Did we lose you?
Yep, we lost them.
Will this be the same process?
Yep. I already told Izzy.
Shankin team?
Yes.
Julian?
Here, perfect.
All right, we only lost 7 minutes, so that's good.
Perfect.
So I don't know where you got cut off.
You said there are 2 things we need.
Okay, yeah, these are the 2 questions. The first one is this idea of just your thoughts, and it kind of stemmed